Hello everybody, I am Jedi Jack Penguin and welcome to my thoughts on LEGO in the year 2020. I felt like this would be a fun video to close off the year with, so this year we got around 500 different LEGO products, not counting any of the magazine promos, gear sets, and stuff like that. And those sets were spread over 30 different themes ranging from licensed properties to original themes made by LEGO themselves. So getting right into this, we're going to be going by theme, looking at everything. Some themes I might have more to say than others, and just remember that these are my thoughts and everyone is entitled to their own opinions. Our first theme is LEGO Architecture that got 3 sets, 2 in the winter wave and 1 in summer. Personally, I'm not too much of a microscale fan, so these sets didn't really interest me. Though I do have to say that they did a wonderful job improving the White House compared to the previous one, which I actually reviewed, making it a larger and more accurate model. One of the newest themes introduced by LEGO this summer is LEGO Art, which I prefer to call by its codename LEGO Zebra. This theme released 4 mosaics, all based off different licenses. Out of these, my favorite has to be the Star Wars one, just because I'm more of a Star Wars fan than a Marvel fan. The Marvel one, though, is also pretty cool just because it introduced the dark tan studs I needed for my Harry Potter mosaic. The other 2 sets are really interesting as well, but the only problem I have with this theme is that it's rather too expensive. Brickhead's had a pretty exciting year with a total of 12 sets. Some of the standout sets of course include the Mandalorian double pack with Mando and Grogu. I also really enjoyed the Disney sets back in February, continuing the line from back in 2018. Same thing goes for Harry Potter, though I'm still a little disappointed with the Hagrid and Buckbeak Brickheads just because there weren't any new prints and that it was just a gift with purchase. Another new theme, technically based off a mock series made by the designer, is Brick Sketches. This theme produced 4 sets, 2 each for both the Star Wars and DC Comics themes. I have yet to pick up any of these just because I felt they were rather too expensive at the $20 price point, though only recently they did actually bring down the price to around $16.99, which, you know, is moving in the right direction, but still not enough for me to pick these up. I honestly can't do this video without mentioning BYGGYLEK, which I knew I'd totally butcher, which is why I spelled it out. This theme is a partnership between the furniture store IKEA and LEGO that brought us some storage box sets, which, will I ever buy anything from this theme? We'll have to wait and see what happens in the years to come, but overall this year this theme didn't really interest me. LEGO City continues to bring us a mix of sets ranging from police and firefighter sub-themes. We got a total of 31 sets released between the winter and summer waves. From the winter wave, I think the set that's most exciting has to be the ice cream truck. Not only does that set include a dog, but a decent build for the ice cream truck. When it comes to the summer wave, I decided not to pick a regular set. That's right, my favorite set from the City Summer Wave has to be the Ocean Diver Polybag, which I say this because it's a great value for what you get, and it's the only set that I actually bought from this theme this year in 2020. Classic continues to bring us extra parts at semi-decent prices. Out of the 8 things that released this year, my favorite no doubt has to go to the White Baseplate. Really awesome of LEGO to release that, makes good use for some snow and also taking white background pictures. Creator 3-in-1 brought us 10 sets between the winter and summer. Out of everything, my favorite set has to be the pirate ship from the summer. Really, all I have to say is that I love the build and it's amazing and perfect for anyone who's missing the Pirates theme. Creator Expert, which has officially been replaced by the 18+ title, got a total of 8 sets under the theme. Out of all of them, my favorite has to be the Ghostbusters Acto 1, which as a Ghostbusters fan, I think that was really the way to go. I really hope that we see a DeLorean sometime in the future. That would be really amazing. And then as for my second favorite, it probably would have to be the Haunted House with all of those amazing Adventurers references. DC Comics is a theme that has so much more potential than it's giving out right now. Due to the current world situations, this theme hasn't been getting as much as it would have otherwise. This theme got a total of 7 sets if you don't count the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, and my favorite out of all of these is most definitely the 1989 Batwing. This set I almost bought back in November, but I decided not to because I still need to get the Batmobile to go with it. And then when it comes to the regular set line, my next favorite set would have to be the Wonder Woman one, which even though I haven't seen the movie yet, I will be seeing it tomorrow as of filming this video. But other than that, the Summer Wave wasn't really too good. There were some good sets, though the minifigures kinda sucked. I really hope that next year we do get some good stuff in the Summer Wave, since it doesn't look like we're gonna be getting too much of anything really too exciting next year for this theme. Disney brought us 13 new sets, one of which was another D2C, surprising many fans, though it really isn't my favorite of the year. My favorite would have to go to either the Mulan's Training Ground set or the Aurora's Forest Carriage, that both feature amazing builds, and as a Disney fan, I wish that LEGO could just give us minifigures. It's not that hard, it would even make the sets sell even more, give us more Disney animation sets, and it would introduce these older Disney films to younger kids in addition to pleasing the older fans. LEGO also introduced a new jewelry-based theme called LEGO Dots. This theme had 2 waves that were released very close together in March and May, featuring 17 sets overall. Yet again, I have to say my favorite is the picture holder set that I actually reviewed on the channel around the launch of the theme. I love how much creativity this theme inspires, and I think that this theme could actually stay around for a while. Though my only concern when it comes to the future of this theme is the release schedule. LEGO Duplo released 21 sets, some licensed and some unlicensed, none of which really interest me, so moving on. The Friends theme continues to go strong in 2020 with around 40 sets, half of them being the gimmick cubes, and 5 of those not even releasing outside of Europe. Overall, LEGO keeps expanding Heart Lake City with more locations and characters. Like my standpoint on the Disney theme, I love the builds for some of these sets, but the mini dolls just aren't for me. One of my all-time favorite LEGO themes is Harry Potter. I was excited to see this theme continue with another large wave of sets, most based on years 5 and 6. This year I feel LEGO did a wonderful job with the builds, especially for our next D2C of Diagon Alley. This set introduced some new shopping locations for the hardcore Harry Potter fans, including Quality Quidditch Supplies, Flourish and Blott's bookstore, as well as my favorite building, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. Another amazing set to shout out includes the second ever rendition of the Burrow. LEGO absolutely nailed that set, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. It's just such a beautiful model. I also did want to note, when it comes to some of the minifigures throughout these sets, some of them do feel to have some slight downgrades compared to previous years, but most of those are simple fixes that you can do yourself. If you want to hear more about my thoughts on LEGO Harry Potter in 2020, you guys can check out my collection video featuring everything that released in 2020 from LEGO Harry Potter, which should be a video releasing next year in the same style as the ones I did back in March of this year for 2018 and 2019. Only after 1 year we say goodbye to LEGO Hidden Side, with a winter and summer wave releasing a total of 12 sets. The winter wave I feel had a strong batch of sets, especially the one I picked up being Jack's Beach Buggy. That set was a very nice set for the minifigures as well as the build, which I thought was very cool. As for the summer wave, I would have gotten the Ghost Fire Truck 3000, but this wave's release was very limited, pretty much only at LEGO stores and LEGO Shop at Home, so I ended up skipping out on it, and there were a lot of other things that I would much rather buy instead of it. Ideas released 4 new sets this year and re-released 2 fan favorites. My favorite out of all of these has to be the Pirates of Barracuda Bay. This set has such an interesting build that can create either a shipwreck island or a regular pirate ship. The set also features references to the OG pirate theme, and it is a set that I would have gotten this year if it wasn't for everything else that released. Another milestone this year from LEGO Ideas was the removal of the no new molds rule, which allowed the characters of Sesame Street to be made for the very first time in LEGO form, which that set is a really interesting set. Probably not going to get it since it is a little too expensive for my taste. Definitely want to pick up the minifigures sometime in the future. Jurassic World is back again with 4 sets in the summertime based on the LEGO TV show. Out of these 4 sets, my favorite has to be the Indominus Rex versus the Ankylosaurus, just because the dinos included are very nice and the builds are pretty decent. Marvel Superheroes continues to support its fans with 18 sets plus a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Compared to the summer wave, the winter wave didn't really have too many interesting sets, at least in my opinion. Mind, we only saw comic-based sets this year other than the one set from the Black Widow film, which didn't even get released this year. My favorite set from the summer wave has to be the Avengers Tower Battle. This set improves upon the previous designs of the Avengers Tower, and it also has a pretty nice figure selection. As for everything else, I just want to say I still dislike the look of the helicarrier, and I wish DC got the treatment that LEGO is giving to Marvel. Minecraft spawned 11 new sets, releasing in 3 waves between January and December. The January wave gave us another small and cheap set called the Taiga Adventure that I enjoyed getting for the wolf and the fox included. In the summer wave, we had a set based off Minecraft Dungeons that I thought was cool, but even more interesting was the fact that we got a December release with 3 sets that otherwise would have released in 2021. And out of those sets, probably my favorite has to be the Bee Farm, which again, the characters included make that set worth it for me. I will probably end up picking that up eventually. The LEGO collectible minifigures theme continues with 2 licensed and 1 unlicensed series to collect. As a Harry Potter fan, I was beyond happy and excited to see that we were getting another series of characters to collect this year for that theme. This series felt like the characters had even more details than the last series, which that I do have to applaud LEGO on. Second place for the collectible minifigures line has to go to DC, that even still has characters that I want to get in the future, and then I never really got to buying any characters from Series 20 just because the whole world exploded at that point, and I don't think I'm going to be getting any of those since none of them really interested me in the first place, and I'd rather save my money for the future of the collectible minifigures line. One of LEGO's new licensed themes for the year was Minions, where we were supposed to get sets based on the new film, but unfortunately 3 of those 5 sets got delayed, leaving us only with the Unstoppable Bike Chase and the Brick-Built Minions layer sets. I have yet to pick up any of the sets for this theme. I will for sure get one of those delayed sets when they officially release around May. LEGO also introduced a new original theme called Monkey Kid based off an old Chinese legend. This theme gave us a total of 11 rather expensive sets that I have yet to own within my collection. If I do buy any of the sets from the first wave of this Monkey Kid theme, it would likely be the Monkey Kid Warrior Mech, just because I love the build for the mech in that set. I just think that they did such an amazing job on those huge and expensive sets compared to the smaller sets, which, you know, they're okay, but still it's just rather an expensive theme. And I also want to say that if they have some interesting sets in the new wave that's releasing in March 2021, I definitely will be picking up at least one of those sets. Ninjago is back with 2 new seasons worth of sets as well as continuing the Legacy line. The January wave had a bunch of amazing sets, including the Gamers Market that was just perfect for minifigure collectors, and even a bigger version of the Golden Mech that I eventually want to pick up for a comparison. I unfortunately haven't picked up any of the Summer Wave sets yet, though my favorites have to be the Woo's Battle Dragon as well as the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon. LEGO Overwatch was supposed to have at least 6 sets released in 2020, but those unfortunately got cancelled. There was a point where it looked like we were actually going to get at least 2 of them released, but that never actually happened. Another theme that I never really got into is LEGO Speed Champions, as I'm not really too much of a car person, so I don't really have too much to say here. Another one of my favorite themes, LEGO Star Wars, continues to be one of LEGO's longest running licensed themes, with about 30 sets spread between 3 waves this year. From the January wave, my favorite has to go to either the Duel on Mustafar or the Lonely Mandalorian Battle Pack. The April wave, as cool as the new Bust series is, isn't something for me unless they release some clone helmets. And finally, the Summer wave gave us a lot of amazing stuff, specifically under the prequels and Clone Wars categories. I just love that they brought us more Clone Wars sets. It brings me back to my childhood collection, and it's just very nostalgic for the time when they actually made more of that stuff. The 501st Battle Pack showed us that LEGO really is listening, and hopefully they will continue to listen to us and hear that we want more Clone Wars sets, and specifically battle packs like this one in the future. And I also do have to say, even though the build isn't really too accurate, the AAT is another very nice set from the Summer Wave with Ahsoka freaking Tano from the Season 7 of the Clone Wars. Really happy that we actually got that minifigure in the Summer Wave. I was worried that they were not going to do any Clone Wars stuff, but they did not disappoint us. And then finally, the Razor Crest from The Mandalorian. I did buy it a week before the ship actually blew up in the series, which it blows my mind that hopefully he does actually get a new one when it comes to Season 3 in 2022. That set has an amazing build. The minifigure selection, though it isn't that great, we didn't get our Beskar armor Mando. We will be getting that in January of 2021, and I will be reviewing that set very, very soon. Another thing with LEGO Star Wars this year is that we did have quite a couple of inaccuracy problems when it comes to printing on certain figures, which I really hope that LEGO does listen to their fans and fixes some of these problems. They have done it in the past, but overall I think that this year was a great turnaround for LEGO Star Wars, but we'll have to see what happens next year in the summer to see if they can do even better. A surprise for many on March 10th, 2020 is that LEGO announced the LEGO Super Mario theme. Now, as much people would have preferred minifigures, LEGO decided to go with this more technology-driven scheme for the sets. I have yet to officially test this theme out for myself, but I do plan on getting at least the starter pack next year to make a video on. And before I end this segment, I did want to say, look at how perfectly LEGO captured the NES. I just think it looks super cool, and it's an amazing display piece, though I still am waiting for LEGO to make real minifigures for the Super Mario theme. Technic has been around for a while, and like years past, we've gotten both a winter and summer wave consisting of a total of 14 sets overall. Like Speed Champions, I never really got into this theme either, so I don't really have too much to say, though I did want to point out that one set actually got cancelled, not because of what it looks like, but because there was an actual design flaw, and I know that there has been a little bit of confusion about that, but that's just really all that I have to say for that, and I don't really care for the build, and I can't buy a $150 Technic set, that's just way too much for me. And finally, let's end off with a high note with everyone's favorite theme, LEGO Trolls, including 8 sets based off the new film that actually released this year, though I didn't watch it. This theme is not for me. I reviewed the polybag and it's a good set. All of the sets are quite decent, they just aren't for me. And the only other set that generally interests me outside of this theme is the Rainbow Catter Bus, it's only because it reminds me of the cat bus from My Neighbor Totoro, but not really. That's really all I have to say for that theme. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I went through everything that I felt was great and not so great about LEGO in 2020. Remember to leave your thoughts down in the comments below what your favorite theme and sets from this year are. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're new, and hit that bell icon to know about my future projects. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!